They tell me no entry, shoes on my feet, but they don't see the dignity. Hair on my head, it's my roots, my identity. Why them rules erase my history?
Locks on me head, them say it no need, but it's grown from.
Hello Learning Journey viewers, thanks for supporting the channel. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe and share. I make a promise to you that I will bring you content that will be engaging and give you time to think and possible learn. So let's get started. Imagine this. It's Monday morning in Kingston. The air is heavy with the smell of fried dumplings from the corner shop. Taxi horns slice through the chatter of school children. A young boy straightens his tie, smooths his shirt, and steps proudly toward the school gate. His shoes, brand new Clarks, polished, crisp, shining like a badge of honor. But before he even reaches the gate, he's stopped. A prefect frowns, shakes his head and says, "Not allowed." The boy protests, his voice carrying equal parts pride and frustration. "Miss, my family saved for months to buy these. They'll last longer than anything else we could afford. But the rule book is clear. No suede, no crepe sole, no Clarks." Now I ask you, what do you see in that moment? A child breaking the rules, or a family's dignity being dismissed at the school gate? This scene is not an isolated one. Every September as the school year begins, Jamaica finds itself replaying the same conflict. Students locked out for hair length, for styled edges, for shoes that don't match the school's definition of neatness. On the surface, these are rules about discipline. But beneath the surface, they are flashpoints in a much larger story. A nation wrestling with identity, discipline, class, and culture. Let's start with hair. For Black people globally, hair has always carried weight. It communicates status, belonging, history. In Jamaica, dreadlocks are more than strands of hair. They are tied to Rastafari, to spirituality, to cultural pride. Yet for decades, locks were punished, stigmatized, criminalized. To wear locks was to risk exclusion. And today, the struggle continues in new forms. In 2025, St. Andrew High. For girls banned styled edges. Those slicked baby hairs many young women wear with pride, arguing they were not neat. But what does neat mean? And whose standard of neatness is that? Such judgments echo colonial codes of appearance, updated with new language, but carrying the same bias. This fight has even entered the courts. The landmark case of Virgo versus Kensington Primary School is instructive. At first, the Supreme Court sided with the school, allowing it to ban dreadlocks on the grounds of hygiene. The outcry was immediate. Years later, the Court of Appeal overturned the decision, affirming that the child's rights to expression and equality had been violated. It was a powerful statement. Afro identity and cultural expression are not fringe. They are constitutionally protected. And yet, contradictions remain. The Ministry of Education's 2021 grooming policy explicitly prohibits discrimination against natural hairstyles. But at the same time, it grants principals broad discretion. That discretion often becomes a loophole, allowing the very discrimination the policy was meant to eliminate. The battle over hair continues because the system has never fully let go of its colonial inheritance. Now let's turn to the shoes. Clarks in Jamaica are no ordinary footwear. They arrived in the early 20th century as polished imports, a piece of Britain itself. To wear them was to whisper, "I have arrived." They were shoes of aspiration, of elegance, of uptown respectability. But Jamaica remixes. By the 1960s, Clarks were no longer just uptown shoes. They had been adopted downtown by the Rude Boys, young men who dressed sharp, walked proud, and defied authority. The desert boot and the wallaby became their uniform. Authority, however, saw danger. Police called them bank robbers. To wear Clarks was to invite suspicion, harassment, even brutality. A shoe became a mark of criminality. And what did the youth do? They doubled down. The more Clarks were demonized, the stronger their cultural hold became. Reggae artists sang about them. Later, dancehall amplified the obsession. In 2010, Vybz Kartel's hit Clarks sent sales soaring. Shops sold out. For the company back in England, Jamaica's love affair was finally undeniable. They embraced it, launching special editions and advertising campaigns that celebrated Jamaican culture. And here lies the contradiction. While Clarks celebrated Jamaica, Jamaica's classrooms often banned them. Globally validated, locally prohibited. A contradiction that reveals deep discomfort with culture that is too Jamaican, too expressive, too connected to working class pride. But there is another layer: economics. In the 1970s, when Michael Manley banned imported shoes to protect local industries, Clarks became contraband. Travelers returning from England stuffed them into suitcases. Owning a pair was proof of sacrifice, of connection, of love. And even today, a pair costs around $250. For a family earning $750 a month, that's 1/3 of their income. Imagine the saving, the sacrifices at the dinner table, the smaller trips to the market, all so a child can wear a pair of Clarks to school with pride. However, there is the issue of loving your Clarks too much by the wearer. For example, a boy was beaten by another boy for stepping on his Clarks. Hence, if this level of vanity is present, the question needs to be asked of parents: what value are you establishing in your child? And then imagine that child being told, wrong shoes, go home. What message does that send? That sacrifice means nothing? That pride has no place here? Schools argue that uniforms are the great equalizer, that by dressing the same, students avoid distractions. But in practice, banning Clarks doesn't equalize anything. It deepens inequality. Families who save for one good pair must now buy a second, cheaper one just to comply. Meanwhile, expensive iPhones, far more costly than shoes, are not banned. The rule does not erase class differences, it highlights them. The same pattern repeats with hair. The argument is that strict rules teach discipline and prepare students for the workplace, but there is no evidence that banning locks or edges or shoes improves academic outcomes. In fact, the most rigid schools often face the steepest struggles: low literacy rates, high dropout numbers, violence on campus. Rules about appearance become a distraction from deeper issues. The energy spent policing hair and shoes could be spent improving teaching, investing in counseling, or addressing poverty. Instead, appearance becomes the battleground. And yet society is changing. Social media gives students and parents a voice. Videos of children locked out of schools spread online in minutes, forcing public officials to respond. These debates are no longer hidden in schoolyards. They are national, even global. They are part of Jamaica's ongoing effort to confront the colonial past and redefine respect, order, and culture in the present. So where do we go from here? Perhaps the solution is not banning brands, but defining function. Shoes must be safe, closed-toe, quiet, black or brown, well kept. Within that, some Clarks pass, others don't. The rule becomes clear, consistent, and culturally aware. Families can buy one pair, not two. Students can wear them with pride. Schools can uphold order without erasing identity. And perhaps schools could go further, inviting students, parents, and teachers into dialogue when setting policies, co-creating rules instead of enforcing them from the top down. What if hair and shoes weren't just dress code violations, but part of the curriculum itself? Imagine lessons that use Clarks as case studies. Colonial imports turned rebellion, turned global icons. Imagine discussions about locks that connect spirituality, culture, and rights. Students would learn that their culture is history in motion. Picture again that boy at the school gate. Same uniform, same wallabies. This time the sign does not say no Clarks. It says footwear must be safe, neat, well kept. The prefect looks down, nods, and waves him in. Pride intact, culture respected, education uninterrupted. Because the soul of a nation should never be a reason for suspension. It should be a reason for connection. So I leave you with 3 questions. First, whose standards are your schools enforcing, and who gets to revise them? Second, when a policy creates financial burdens, what ethical responsibility does the school have to adjust? And third, if we treated culture as curriculum, how might discipline look different? The answers to these questions are not just about hair or shoes. They are about the kind of Jamaica we want to build. One where identity is not erased at the school gate, but embraced as part of the learning journey. One where respect means not conformity, but dignity. And one where education fulfills its true promise to prepare our young people not just for exams, but for a life more abundant. Thanks for watching. Until next time.
The school gate, they tell me no entry. Shoes on my feet, but they don't see the dignity. Hair on my head, it's my roots, my identity. Why them rules erase my history? Yeah. Mama work hard, save every dollar. Buy me 1 pair clocks, feel look like a scholar. Tie straight, shirt clean, pride in a me stance. But the prefect say you no clocks, no chance. It's not just a shoe, it's a story we carry. From uptown pride to the rude boy parry. Police call them bank robber, try to suppress. But the more them ban, the more youth confess.
At the school gate, they tell me no entry. Shoes on my feet, but they don't see the dignity. Hair on my head, it's my roots, my identity. Why them rules erase my history?
Locks on me head, them say it no need, but it's grown from Zion. Now how that's complete. Edges slick down, them say it look wrong, but it's culture in motion, a rhythm a song. Rules built on colonial frame, dress code disguise, but the root is the same. Say it's discipline, say it's control, but it's legacy chain still gripping the soul.
Equal don't mean identical. Respect must be reciprocal. Discipline without erasure. Equity bring the future. They tell me no entry. Shoes on my feet, but they don't see the dignity. Hair on my head, it's my roots, my identity. Why them rules erase my history?
So open the gate, let the children through. Education should uplift, not undo. From soul to crown, we carry the fight.
At the school gate, they tell me no entry. Shoes on my feet, but they don't see the dignity.